What's up everyone, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from Energy City Brewing, and they're out of Batavia, Illinois, and this is their Bistro Crumble, the peach and apricot variant. So they're calling this one a Berliner style Weisse beer with peach, apricot, and cinnamon. Comes in at 6.5% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed. Time of review, this can is exactly 1 year old. So recently I was in one of my local grocery stores that has a pretty awesome craft beer selection, and there was like a discount section in the cooler, and this was a part of it, and this was $3.99 a can. Now typically these Bistro or Bistro Crumble beers from Energy City are anywhere between like $6 to $7 here in the Buffalo, New York area, per can that is, and this being only $4, I was like, I'm gonna grab it. And then I saw the date and I was like, well, it's a little bit old, but I was like, it's only the actual, they have a Best By date too. So this was canned on 3/28/22, and then they give a year out, Best By 3/28/23. I was like, it's only a couple days away. So for science, why don't we review this one right on the Best By date and a year old? And I've had some heavily fruited sours that have been, a year and a half old, and they've pretty much held up quite well. I feel like maybe the cinnamon might fall off here. We will see. Also, I thought the Bistro Crumbles were also brewed with brown sugar, but it does not list it here on the can, so whatever. Hopefully this doesn't explode. I think it was kept cold the entire time. We will see. I'm going to crack it open and get it right in the glass. All right, so it's not exploding, which is good. And we'll give it a pour. Should, it has a thick fruit puree kind of going on. Now, this might build up a huge head. Yeah, so I probably can't pour it all in until the end. So what we'll do is pour something like this. We'll go with, not all of it. Do a little bit of cheating. All right, so we're not going to pour it all in until the end, okay? We're going to let it sit in here and just kind of let the head die down. So what does that look like? It looks like mango juice or something like that. And there's seeds in there, honestly. So yeah, it has that like really deep dark orange color. Tons of packed in fruit puree, whatever you want to call it, hanging around the side. Had a huge I want to say tan colored head that is now dissipated to a thin film, but that looks like a heavily fruited sour. Hold it up to the light, you can't see through it. Super murky and turbid. We're gonna pour in the rest now because the head doesn't seem to be an issue. So something like that. And one more time. I could just do that like people do. I don't know why I don't do that, and I put it on my fingers because I'm an idiot. Anyway, it looks beautiful, so can't really say much more about it. Let's get a nose. Yeah, it smells like a peach pie to me. Peach crumble, whatever. It just has a big, overripened sweet peach kind of feel to it, definitely you just bit into an overripened peach is kind of the aromatics as you go in for the bite, or maybe you already took a bite and you're going back in. There is a little bit sugary, kind of brown sugar feel to it. The cinnamon's there, but not overdone. There's almost a crumble-esque, almost like doughy granola type of thing. Maybe more of a parfait than an actual crumble. Apricot's there a little bit, but it's more peach than apricot for me. And it smells like it's going to have a little bit of a tartness, but not super over the top in terms of a sour kind of character. Anyway, it smells kind of how I expected it to, so let's get into it. Cheers, everyone. It's fucking delicious. Oh, the aftertaste is fantastic. The aftertaste is definitely crumble-esque or just straight on pie. This is like a peach pie with the sugar on top. The crystallized sugar you have on top of some of the pies. It has a beautiful brown sugar kind of vibe to it. The cinnamon's there, but not overly done. Anyway, go body and mouthfeel. Body's lower side of full, so this isn't over the top. And I've noticed that from a lot of the Energy City heavily fruited sours. This I was gonna say this series, but the Bistro or the Bistro Crumble, which I am reviewing now. They're thick, but they're not overly done. So I enjoy that, lower side of full as opposed to just thick and chewy and over the top. So it's thick, but not too much, which I appreciate. The mouthfeel, good carbonation. This is almost approaching moderate carbonation, but it has a nice kind of smooth, almost creamy-ass kind of mouthfeel. The taste, very simplistic. There's peach, there's a little bit of apricot up front. It's over-ripened. Right after that, I get what I believe to be a cinnamon kind of feeling to it. It feels more like cinnamon than any other kind of spice, and they brew it with cinnamon, so it makes sense, but it's not like, I don't know if I was doing this blind, I would necessarily say cinnamon, but it makes sense based on what I'm tasting and then what I know is in here. And then on the second half of the palate, that's where the crumble part or the pie part comes in. It's brown sugar. It's a crystallized sugar. It's doughy. It's just, it's like a dough, like a pie, like crust. It's like a pie crust kind of feeling. It finishes with a full-on dry feeling on the palate, but there's only a mild bitterness. It's super dry, which is nice because this is not too sweet. I was worried that this would be super sweet, like a lot of these are, excuse me, and it's not. 6.5%, you really can't tell. This might be my favorite from them, if not, probably in the top 2. I think it's like the 5th or 6th I've had from them. I think I've reviewed 4 before this. This is just, it's very simplistic. It's peach, apricot, and cinnamon, right? And they probably have a crumble base where the brown sugar comes in, even though they don't list it on the can. And it's kind of like a peach pie or a peach and apricot pie or crumble in sour beer form. The one negative I would have here is this is firmly tart. And that's about it. It's not sour. It doesn't have a big acidity, so that's good. I don't feel like I'm gonna have heartburn after I drink the rest of this can, and I'm gonna be able to drink the rest of this can. Why? It's not crazy sweet. It has a full dryness, and it's not super sour or over the top with the acidity where I'm gonna be worried about how I'm gonna feel, in a couple, like 10, 15 minutes, I'm gonna start getting heartburn or something like that. This is just really well done, and for these pastry-esque kind of heavily fruited sours, I think they did a great job with this one. So I'm going to lock in a rating here. I'm going to give Bistro Crumble, the peach and apricot variant from Energy City. I'm going to give this we'll go high 4.5. I'm going to go 4.6. I think this is absolutely delicious. And keep in mind, I'm drinking this a year old. This is not fresh whatsoever. And I think that speaks volumes to how these hold up. It says, our bistro beers have sourness served fresh from the kitchen for a bright and lively taste. Well, I agree with that. And one thing I did notice about here with Energy City, Octopi Brewing. This is brewed and packaged for Energy City at Octopi Brewing in Waunakee, Wisconsin. A lot of breweries in Waunakee, or maybe there's just one huge facility, but I know there are some places that do contract brewing in Waunakee, and apparently this came from that facility. Fucking delicious. Price by availability, like I said, I paid $4 for that can, $3.99. I think typically, probably in the Chicago area, these are anywhere probably $16 to $20 a 4-pack, maybe $22 a 4-pack. Here in the Western New York area, Buffalo, New York specifically, these are anywhere between like $22 to $26 a 4-pack when they show up. Not this beer specifically, anything within this series. So I got it a little bit cheaper. I haven't been buying them because we haven't had a lot of new drops from them recently, but if something else comes out in the next month or two, I'll probably grab it and give it a go. And availability, I have no idea with Energy City. I do know they get more distribution than they did, say, a year and a half ago, which is good, but like I don't know where they are everywhere. So if you're in a small town somewhere in the South or maybe out West and you see Energy City stuff, let me know. Throw it in the comment section. If you've had this beer or anything within their series, throw it in the comment section. Let me know what you think about it. Appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. To the next one. Cheers.